It's the Mina's House Podcast, episode 136. We are here, baby. We all look good this week, okay? Listen, we all visible on the video, and we all look good. I'm Mina SayWhat.
I'm Shana B.
X.
Garnett, it's always you first.
It's
then
you.
I don't know. This is Garnett Briscoe, Sherlock Homeboi in the building.
And Dexter Stuckey.
It's nice to see y'all, man. We're doing good this week.
Like it's been a while.
Yeah.
It has. It's hard. It's a lot of. I feel like time moves fast.
Too fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And we all sitting at home. How is time moving so fast? That's what I don't understand.
We getting older. Time only moves slow for the young people. That's it.
Is that what it is?
Didn't time feel like it was slow in middle school, high school? It felt.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
Once
You're
that's over, everything's fast now. So
You couldn't wait to be an adult, right? When you was a kid.
You should have.
And grown.
You should have waited.
You couldn't wait to be grown, drinking, smoking, had no business having
Overrated.
sex. And then you get old and you're like, I'm not going to do none of that anymore.
I'm good.
Bill,
You give up that stuff for Lent.
Yo, so we got to jump right into it because I feel like it's been a weird week. Like,
Yeah.
weird. I don't know. Is Mercury still in retrograde? Like, I just feel like
I think so.
the world is weird.
I think the world is exactly where it needs to be at.
Weird? Did you see the Wayfair conspiracy? Like,
Yeah.
that they're trafficking kids? I'm like,
Yes.
what? Let's get to what's in our feed. So I feel like the past couple of days, everybody's asking who shot Megan Thee Stallion. Like, so the story is her and Tori were hanging out. They get in the car. There's 3 people in the car, Megan's friend, Megan, and Tori. And shots ring off. Police are called. There's video of Megan getting handcuffed, Tori getting handcuffed. So the police came and treated everybody like a threat, handcuffed everybody. The initial story was that Megan got cut on her foot. Tori got caught with a gun. They arrested him, and that's what we know. Now we're finding out Megan was shot twice in the foot. The police took her to the hospital. She's saying she's a victim. Her friend came out and said she wasn't the one that shot her. So who shot her?
Only one other person in the car.
Right.
I was just about to say.
You got arrested for having a gun.
But you,
Right.
But why? Like, how do you go from hanging out with someone to getting shot by them? Like, this is bizarre.
That sounds like an accidental discharge. And
Twice?
I mean, listen, you never playing around with a gun. I don't know how guns work, but I know sometimes they go off by them damn selves. So I don't know if, maybe it dropped it. Maybe, maybe somebody was playing around, and you never know. I don't know what kind of gun it was either, but, it's just unfortunate that, she still has her life at the end of the day. Cause
Right.
that could have went either way. So
You really think this is a mistake?
Well,
wow.
actually, I thought it was accidental too, just because again, and they showed earlier they were hanging out. Kylie Jenner was there. They went on live. So I thought it was an accident too. But the way that she kind of wrote her statement was what made it like, wait, is this not an accident?
Right. That's why I said I don't think. That's why I'm surprised, Garnett, you said it was an accident, because it seems like to me she's trying to say I'm a victim. I was targeted. Someone tried to hurt me.
Anything else to get you in trouble. I'm not even saying, I'm just speculating too. But just like some things is a little weird, and it's like, all right, the only thing you want everybody to be fine. If that's your friend, and maybe you was playing with the gun, or playing with the gun, or maybe he was playing with the gun. But they mean well, and it just was an accident. You don't want to see that person go to jail, and you're an up-and-coming superstar. The last thing you need is you accidentally shooting yourself, or your friend who's a superstar up-and-coming, like, accidentally shot you. That's the wrong kind of press that both of you guys need.
I agree.
Have y'all ever had a situation like that, like with a gun, where someone was playing with a gun?
I don't play with guns.
That actually happened to me.
Nobody who does.
That happened to me in high school. we were hanging out during lunchtime. We used to go hang out at different people's houses. And one day we went to go hang out at this guy's house. And I didn't know who this guy was, but somebody else did. And this guy pulled out a gun and started playing with it. Like, it's cool. And I was like, put the gun away. Yeah. I was like, that's not cool. Like, you don't play with guns. And the dude literally like was like pointing at me like, what, you scared? You scared? Like doing this in front of my face. And I was like, why do people play like that? And I was like, and I told him, I'm like, this is not cool. I'm like, you need to put that gun away. And I'm going to leave now. And I ended up leaving. Yeah. But it'd be situations like that where people, I don't know if they try to be cool or hard. I look at my gun. I don't, like.
Right. And I don't know, because they were in a car, correct? Like they were in a car.
Well, they were arguing apparently.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just don't know all the details, unfortunately. But it is like, I did feel like we needed like Olivia Pope or Annalise on this, like, who shot Megan?
Right. I immediately thought of who shot you? Separate the weak from the obsolete. You know, like, so we'll see. I hope Megan's okay. That's terrible. To be shot.
Hopefully her twerk game is still sturdy, man. That's all. Hopefully
she might
sturdy.
No, bruh, she might have to take a timeout. She might
be out of commission.
She gotta heal. I'm talking about coming back from the surgery after a heal up. Hopefully it's still the same, man.
Well, TMZ released a video of her, like the cops were telling her like to walk backwards towards them, and she had like a little limp to her.
I saw that.
But from a perverted perspective, I saw her like walking back like that. I said, oh, she still got it.
Hey,
wow.
She might have
all y'all worried about.
She might have to time out on the twerking, right?
Y'all just gotta make sure she still can twerk.
Dex shout out.
All right, so Kanye dropping out of this race. I mean, if this wasn't the biggest distraction, I don't even know.
It's a plot twist. It's a plot twist. Apparently, he dropped out, but then he filed some paperwork with the FEC today. So he's kind of back in it. Yeah, who knows? Kanye's just continuing to be Kanye.
I don't understand how you drop out when you never really filed the paperwork in the first place.
I was confused about that too.
You missed the deadline in 13 states. Like in New Jersey, I literally was sitting there voting for Joe Biden, which it said it only had limited options here. I'm like, Kanye ain't on here. He missed the deadline. Like, what would you do? Write him in? Like, I don't understand how you.
Yeah, because you can write in. Remember years ago when people wrote in what was it? The gorilla Harambe.
Harambe.
Yes.
I hate that you remember that.
I remember, because that was another distraction. Like, why would y'all do that? Why would you go and vote and put Harambe on it?
It wasn't a distraction. He was supposed to win. Harambe should win that election.
That's why Trump won the election. Y'all voted for Harambe instead of a real candidate. That's what I was worried about. Y'all was going to vote for Kanye when 2 Chainz came out and said he was going to vote for Kanye. One of the Like, this is
no chance.
Yeah, right.
Look like what's going on too, though. I think it's very interesting. Just off of the point that you brought up, Mina, on that's how Trump got elected. It's almost like a ploy to take votes from the other side, just so Trump can still get that vote.
Right.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is, and that's because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Because again, even if Dropout, Don't Drop Out again today, people could still write him.
The Presidential Dropout is the next album. The Presidential Dropout.
Well, and if you look, the paperwork said he definitely filed with the FEC today as an alternate candidate for the birthday party, and I was confused, like, who was the first candidate for the birthday party, which is a whole political party you just made up.
Right. I'm telling you, it's a distraction. I'm glad 50 said it was a distraction, because that's exactly what I felt like it was.
Well, the saga continues, so we'll see.
I hope nobody votes for this guy. I love Kanye, just not as a president.
They will.
Meaning, people will.
Like,
they got votes. Harambe never went double platinum before. Like,
he never sold sneakers.
Exactly.
Oh, good God. We're like in the Twilight Zone. Like,
Twilight Zone. Absolutely.
Like, this is a whole movie we're living. Like, a whole movie. Wayfarers trafficking kids, allegedly. Donald Trump is the president.
Kanye making new political parties called the birthday party.
Chrissy Teigen is allegedly friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and on that, that list that they were all these celebrities were going to that island where they were having sex with these underage girls. Like, what is happening? Megan got shot.
2020 is proof that everything is possible. Not
anything. It was just everything.
Everything.
All right. So Will and Jada, everybody knows what's going on there. I mean, I really just wanted to talk about why people are so obsessed with this story. Like, Howard Stern called August Alsina a D-wad. Like, Howard Stern is talking about this. Like, what is the obsession with what's going on with them? Like, even me, I commented on my Twitter. I commented on August's social media. And I've been getting trolls all week. All week, I've been getting trolled for my opinion. Like, why are people so obsessed about this particular story?
Well, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, like, they're big celebrities. Like, as far as like African Americans, we don't have that many ones that we can really look to be like, these are our people. Like, they're our people. And then, like, they're a couple together, so like they're a hot commodity. And I think that one of the reasons, like, while the trolling is happening or while the interest is there, because obviously they're big stars, but also like they put it out there and it didn't make a lot of sense. Personally, and you know how I am, Mina, I don't believe it. I think it's fake. I think this whole thing is fake. I think it's very convenient that Og had an album coming out. And then it's kind of weird to me that like Will and Jada decided to talk about it. Me and my fiance talked about this right away. Like when we saw the two of them going, we talked about it right away. How did Will and Jada for 4 years not have this conversation with each other? Like, you want me to believe that you guys are discussing this for the first time at that red table talk? That doesn't make any sense at all. And that's why I just couldn't. And then the lines that they used, the bad marriage stuff.
That was so toxic.
To me, it just seemed very staged, very fake. And then people were like, my friends were like, yo, Will looked like he was about to break down. He was so sad. I said, he looked the same way how he looked in The Pursuit of Happiness. That man is an
right. Please say The Pursuit of Happiness.
Dex is dropping facts. You should write a book, Dex. Come on, Dex. We need that book. That's a fact right there. Literally, just to piggyback off of what you're saying is, when was the last time you've ever seen Will Smith do a bad job on television? When? You'll never see it. He's still one of the most beloved actors. He's really great at what he does. So when you see him on TV, probably acting.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that it's not true. I'm not going to go that far, even though it might not be. But the fact that we didn't know anything about these two people, just talk about Jada and Will, about what they really got into it. There were rumors, but we didn't hear anything about it. And now all of a sudden, now that, Jada, she has a really big platform, they got the deal on Facebook. The kids are pretty much doing well. Will is now getting into the internet, and they're kind of turning into reality stars more than TV stars. Mm-hmm. And I think this is just the first really huge play into opening up that book. And I'm not mad because I enjoyed it. And I think where they're going with it, it's more educational based. They're actually going to teach and be a representative to people where, instead of arguing when, someone cheats or stuff like that, now they're able to show people of color that, hey, listen, you guys, no matter what differences you guys have, if you guys come to the table, the red table, talk it out, and just put the dialogue out there. You don't have to scream at one another. Yeah, things are going to hurt, but we can move past it, clap hands and say bad marriage. It's a bunch of things.
I hear you, but the difference with them is they got a lot of money. So the difference in my situation, if I might have been in that situation, it may be a little different. It just might be a little different when we sit at our little red table. Yeah. We might have some different things. They have, and I'm not going to say, I do believe they have a deep partnership and friendship and things that surpass, I don't want to say marriage because that's what marriage is supposed to be, but I do believe that they are in it for life regardless of what happens in the outside, what happens in the inside. My whole thing with it at the end of the day was, I don't know why people are so obsessed with it. Again, we've heard different stories, whether they're true or not, about what they do and don't do in their lives and in their bedroom. But at the end of the day, if it works for them, again, they are like our couple. They've been successful. They really, even this isn't really messy. I mean, it's messy, but it's not like drama in terms of something very negative, So, and if this is the most negative thing that we want to get from them, it's fine with me.
And I mean, you also gotta look at it too. Like I said, I think Dex put up a good point. Will Smith also promoted a song the same day that the Red Table Top dropped. I never.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was so low key. It's like, hold on, it's 2020. I have Jada Pinkett Smith talking about Lincoln Bio, and then I have Will Smith promoting a song, and now a week later,
and August got an album.
Oh, exactly. I'm sorry. August got the
album.
Right. Now Jaden has Sneaks dropping next week.
Look, I'm not gonna negate that might be a possibility. I just, I've talked to August a couple of times, and what I know about him is that he's very transparent and very real, and I don't think this is like a publicity thing for him. I have heard that. My other friend Sean said the same exact thing. But it just, I think that people are really drawn to this because I feel like it's really a reflection of how we see ourselves almost, because it was so interesting to even analyze what people took away,
Yeah.
Some people took away, Jada, thank you for being so open about your problems. We salute you, girl. Some people took away, damn, Will got his, all his business put out there. That must hurt his pride and his feelings. Or then I got, Will is such an awesome husband to be able to have this conversation. Everybody kind of took away different things from that red table. And I really think it's just like a reflection of the things that matter in everyone's lives. Like what I took away seriously was, wow, Jada, at 45 years old, you dealt with a 23-year-old young man with mental health issues. Like, really?
Well, I was going to say
that's what you decide to do at 45 years old when you're going through something with your marriage and you got kids. You dealing with
men do it all the time, but that's another story.
But
men do it all the time.
Well, and that was the conversation I was having with my friend. Like, I feel like if she was a man, she would be getting dragged, right? Because men do. You don't think?
They don't. They don't get dragged.
And
they do it all the time.
I think we need to drag them. Like, this is not okay. There's a 22-year-old difference here.
It's actually more normal, or we have more normalcy to accepting a man doing that. They don't get dragged. But I was going to say, the one thing I took away, regardless whether it was real, fake, in the middle, the one thing that she, I do appreciate these red table talks, whatever they are, some introspective things come out of them. And there were some things that she talked about within her that I ain't gonna lie, I was like thinking about myself and in relationships. And again, regardless of why they got there, I think that is the one thing that they do give for people is this kind of introspective look again on your life and what's kind of going on and, how we look at ourselves and like you all said, how we communicate with each other through this life.
Yeah, that's what I think, because everybody has like a different perspective. Like Dex took it as this is publicity. This is Garnett. What's your angle on this?
My angle is I think that they're just full-fledged in the reality game, whatever that means. I think this is
right.
The upbeat, clean, prestigious version of what the Kardashians are doing. In a sense, it's a family thing. We, as of right now, we just saw Will and Jada doing it, but Will has something to say about that too, as far as like what's going to come out with him later on. What do the kids even think about this? Because, okay, they talk to Will, but what's next with the kids? So I think later on, everything will probably be filled out to the point where you can see it clear. But I think even from, like I said, the social media, like who would have thought 20 years ago Will Smith is jumping out of planes on Instagram? Like
Right.
you know what that is.
He's in the Wild Wild West.
Right. right. It's like they're creating this, they're just transitioning over. I mean, and like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's just natural progression where the world is at, where TV is at, where movies are at and going. Like I said, I thought, the Kardashians, they did it their way because they had to, but can you imagine how much better their TV show might look if they were born actors?
Yeah.
They had to learn all of that. Like, these are trained professional, like top of the top actors, even down to the kids. So I think, when it's just billions of dollars around and you see another family getting it, in 10 to 15 years, in such a short amount of time, it's billions of dollars. It's like, why not? Why am I breaking my back to be 6 months away from my family to shoot this film that isn't even going to be number one? Something on Netflix is going to be number one that week. It's like, we might as well get into this game. We're still going to do movies, but we're going to set the foundation with educational, reality TV content.
I can see that.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to have this conversation. Look at how differing our opinions are. Like, that's why this is such a big story. Everybody has a different angle.
And I also think one of the other reasons why people care so much about it is because, like, right now is the time to do any and everything you want to do because of the quarantine stuff. Like, we're home. We really don't have much to do. And even when we do go out, it's kind of like, okay, go back in the house. So when something breaks now, like, we know all the information on it. You can't hide anything from us anymore. And we're consuming, like, content like crazy right now.
Right. I was going to say we need something new to watch, too. Yep. I'm not even going to lie. I was upset when I was like, just only like a couple minutes. I thought I was hungry for a good hour.
I thought we were gonna get a therapy session here. Yeah. But it would have been crazy if they had August there with them.
Yeah,
giving his
that would have almost been too more reality showish.
Child,
but, yeah, it would have been
crazy. But the Kardashians exploit everything that happens in their life. Bruce turned from a man to a woman on reality TV.
Yeah.
That's
a whole man to a woman right on TV. And it's not like they congregated that. That was naturally what was going to happen. But they just put it out there. I literally watched them go from Bruce to
Caitlyn
on TV. I've never seen nothing like that.
I think August would have put out a little too much. Like, I think, like you were saying.
He's very honest. He's super. Yeah, he wears everything right here.
Yeah, like, and I think that he would have said things that, like, contradicted some of the stuff that they were saying. Like, when he said he sat down and had a conversation with Will Smith, I believe he sat down and had a conversation with him. So with them saying, like, oh, that never happened, this, that, and the third, like, he would be like, yes, it did. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a reason that he wasn't there.
Yeah. That's the next episode.
It's definitely going to be.
Well, Jada be like, I'm trying to heal him. Whatever, girl. You ain't trying to heal him. You trying to make yourself feel good. So this is this is something that I've actually been, the topic for this week is something that I've really been hovering over because I think Terry Crews first kind of introduced it. And I think when he said it, people were really upset because I feel like every time Terry opens up his mouth, people just kind of like discount whatever he says. But he brought up this term, Black supremacy. And I think when he said it, it kind of struck a nerve because people were like, how can people who have been oppressed be supremacists, But now we're starting to see a string of very prominent Black celebrities talk about things that are considered anti-Semitic or hateful towards other groups. Deshaun Jackson, with him, what he posted on Instagram, on his Instagram stories. Nick Cannon about what he said regarding the Jewish community and how Black people are the real Hebrews. And he said that, it was so much in there. He said that people without pigment in their skin, without melanin, they don't have the sun. And because they don't have the power of the sun, they're deficient. And because they're deficient, they're like animals and savages, and people got really offended by this. And now there's this term, black supremacists, which is obviously the opposite of white supremacists, which is basically a person that's black that hates other colors and cultures and creeds. Is this a real thing, or is this something that the media is creating?
Not the media, Terry Crews. It's something that Terry created. Terry Crews is running.
Oh God!
The reason why it infuriates me to hear like the word black supremacist, because you know, like, white supremacy exists. So if a person is saying, like, if they're saying something that is deemed anti-Semitic, are you saying that Jewish people are the supreme people in this country now? Like, is that what you guys are trying to imply? Because otherwise, why would this be that offensive to you? And why would this fall into that category of black supremacy? I would understand if people say, like, I don't like what they said, it's anti-Semitic. I'm cool with that. But
Right.
To say that you're putting yourself as an African-American or a black person over everybody else because these are your views, to me, that's crazy. And also, Terry's wrong with this because look at what happened in these situations. Deshaun is now touring Holocaust museums as a punishment. Nick Cannon is looking for a new job as a punishment. So, like, if black supremacy is that's a thing and that's what they really want to put out there, then how come it's not working then?
Exactly.
It's sick. I think what I grabbed from the Nick Cannon podcast, and also what they're doing with Deshaun Jackson with the anti-Semitic thing, I think they're really taking their anger out on anybody that supports Farrakhan in any way, because I think these are some of his like teachings and like the things that he liked to say. They already took him off the internet as far as Instagram and all that stuff. So I think it's very unusual that the people that decide to, follow in that direction of any sort, whether they're that religion or not, but follow along or have some of the same mindset that now they're sending Deshaun Jackson to the Holocaust. Man, people been saying some wild stuff about black people, and they don't have to go on the Holocaust tour. It's like, well, what's the real cause of this? Like, what are y'all trying to do? So I'm not sure about the black supremacy thing. Like Dex said, whatever Terry Crews say, that's what Terry Crews said. I don't know about all that, but what I do know, I do think it's a little off to just see how people are getting treated. And like you said, they're throwing out anti-Semitic, whereas like I listened to the Nick Cannon thing and I didn't see anything wrong, but could I see somewhere where I guess somebody could feel a little bit, just because of the choice of words as far as him saying.
You call somebody a savage and an animal.
No, but yeah.
Imagine if it was the reverse.
It is always
no, but
right.
They already do that. They call us.
That's what I was going to say, right? They call us that anyway.
They literally do that and then get upset when we like, yo, don't really call us that. But he wasn't talking about the people of today. He was talking about people from the Caucasus Mountains. Mm-hmm. They had to be savage because that's what it was. It wasn't that, the people of today are just super savage. No, he called those guys back then savages, and how that can trickle down into today where you just see it's a natural thing of them just to conquer and to go somewhere and just try to conquer. So that's what I got from it.
Yeah, I think my issue with the term black supremacy is, when we talk about white supremacy in particular, and like really the roots of where that came from, it wasn't just about being racist. It had a lot to do with the actions and the groups that formed together in the movement. And now I feel like because a black person says something, and I'm not saying that black people can't be racist, anti-Semitic, not saying any of that, but because someone says something or has an opinion, I don't see how that just turns into black supremacy. Again, knowing in this country where the terms and those groups, when we talk about white supremacy, where it's really coming from and the source of what those groups have done to black people and Jewish people and the like. So that's just my issue with that. And Terry Crews, that's just we could do a whole nother pie on Terry Crews and what he says and shouldn't be saying. But he does it too because, he likes it. It's now his new little platform. He's always being talked about.
Right. Yep.
So does black supremacy exist, or is that just a construct? Do you believe it exists?
I think everything exists, but I don't think it's like that's not that. I don't think so. I don't think what Nick Cannon was saying made him a black supremacy. Like, I don't think that. So I'm not. They'll have to show me actual people that have movements that's out here trying to do harm to other races, not just with words and just speaking on. They're literally just saying the history that they got taught.
I don't think it exists. I really think that I really think that it's like when you talk about white supremacy, you talk about a group of people that harmed other people.
Right.
They had actions, they had collective, but I was wondering because Terry Crews is not the first time I heard that. When I was reading an article about Nick Cannon, in the article it said, this is I forgot. It said something about this is a reflection of a black supremacy movement that's happening right now. So I was like, does that even exist?
That's what they try to deem Farrakhan.
Well, in 1935 is when the term was introduced. There was a pastor from Jamaica, I believe it was. He introduced it as a construct to white supremacy. So it's basically like saying that black people are superior. So it's like saying, if I'm like, I'm the best, you say I'm the best. It's literally that. Like, there is nothing, like, I get what you guys are saying when you say it doesn't exist, because it really doesn't. It's just a mindset, really, that you have. Like, I just think I'm better than other people because of the color of my skin. Not that I'm against them, not that I'm racist, or not that I'm doing anything to them. I just think I'm the superior race. And honestly, I don't really think I don't think that's a bad thing for anybody to feel that way about themselves. Like, it's uplifting, if anything. I don't think it needs to be something that is looked at in a negative way, unless you're doing negative things like systematic racism or hurting or harming or attacking people because of the color of their skin. If you're doing stuff like that, then that's a problem.
So you think it's a source of pride more so than anything else?
According to Wikipedia, it's a source of pride.
That's crazy.
Because everybody was raised differently, and I was kind of raised that you think everyone's the same. You treat everyone equal. You don't think that you're better than anyone, but if you do treat or encourage that, it would be more of a source of pride, not a source of you hate these other people, right?
Right.
So do you agree or think that what they said was something that they should be saying as celebrities and people with following and influence? Like, are the words that they use acceptable?
So I'll say for Deshaun, what I'll say is, and I didn't see it, obviously it got removed before I saw, where he reposted basically the excerpts. But, again, for Nick, I think if people have heard him talk before and speak before, Nick always speaks of this manner and of this cadence. This is nothing new. So he is seriously educated. He's been still trying to do this documentary with Dr. Seeley. So I don't think that, he shouldn't. And I believe that he did try to extend the olive branch to have a communication, with his group at Viacom. If people felt hurt by his words, they claim that he didn't, but he said very publicly, like, let's talk about, what I'm feeling, and what I feel as a Black man, and maybe what you're feeling as, a Jewish person, that my words might have hurt, and some of the actions that you guys have taken as a network may have hurt me. So, I don't think that he was wrong for saying it. The Deshaun one, like I said, I kind of heard it afterwards and it was already removed. So I didn't really actually physically for myself see what he reposted of the excerpts and everything. But, I do know, just period, and it goes for all colors, in the world that we live in these social media platforms, you definitely got to say what you mean and mean what you say, because once it's out here, it's out here.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you should ever quote Hitler. Like,
no.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't like, there's some things you just don't do. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is. I mean, there's
a fake quote.
Right. It was, that's why I was like, when he ain't know that, I was like, it doesn't even feel like.
But he didn't know it was fake.
Yeah, he just reposted, and that's what I'm saying. You need to really say what you mean and mean what you say. So when you have a platform like that and you're about to repost something, you have to really make sure you stick by that, sign, still deliver, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you say something like that, you know. And it might have been a mistake, but I think in general, we're living in this world where I feel like people are being very honest, you know, and they're putting everything out there, and it's like you can hurt someone else, you know, and it's like you wouldn't want someone to quote a person that tried to eradicate a whole race,
Right.
you know, like right, like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We living in a world of fake woke people too, so that's why people need to be careful what they're saying and posting, because a lot of people just do stuff just to be a part of what's going on and not really educating themselves in it, and we'll just post something or repost something like, "Oh, that sound dope," and you didn't even really see what it says, where the source is,
right.
and does that really stand by what you mean and what you really feel, or did you just want to post something?
Right.
Yeah.
I also think too is I just think it's interesting that now they get to see what it feels like when people misspeak about your culture, or because now, you know, like people losing jobs without question. You know,
without question.
I mean, the other guy, Riley Cooper, who was on the Eagles the same time Deshaun Jackson was on the Eagles previously, said the N-word. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to go visit, you know, DC or anywhere else.
Yep. He didn't go through the slave exhibit.
Oh,
there wasn't anything like that because of the people, the powers that be. You know, the people that are running Viacom. Maybe that hurt them and cut them deeper because they're the ones in power. So you got to go. But when the shoe's on the other foot, I don't think they're this compassionate. You know, like where's this compassion on the other side?
I do agree that there was trending the other day, and I forget the girl's name, but there was a reality star on one of the Bravo shows who had a podcast she put out, and years ago. This is around the Oscar So White stuff, which was like 2016, I believe.
Yeah.
She was like, it's always black people complaining about what's going on, this, that, and the third. You don't see Asians complaining. It's always black people complaining. She said that, and then there was a situation where on her show, they casted a black girl on the show, and the black girl slept with somebody's boyfriend or something like that. And this girl called the cops on this black girl and said like, oh yeah, there was like an article about some black woman who like robbed people or something like that. This girl called the cops and said like it was her. They're her cast member who did that. And you know, calling the cops on the African American could lead them to die. Like
yes.
A death sentence for them. And you knew this wasn't the girl who did this crime. You knew that. And they just fired her in 2020 when this stuff started to come back up. Exactly what Garnett just said. Like before, this wasn't happening. Like you could really do whatever you want to do. I remember when Julianne Hough did from Dance with the Stars, she came out with blackface on. Nothing happened at the time. People got upset, but nothing happened. If you were to do that today, you wouldn't be dancing with anybody's stars anymore.
You'd be dancing with the Stones.
Right to your house.
Outside.
Yes, right to your house. Checklist. With no check, broke, dancing to your house. Well, I wanted to have this conversation because I just think in general, we're getting to this place. I just feel like things are really ugly, you know, and it makes me sad that we have all this, there's positive energy happening, but there's also a lot of negative energy. Like, you know, Nick lost jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this would have been a teachable moment for him, you know, to have a conversation. You know, I think that the more conversations that we have like this, which is a difficult conversation, you know, the more conversations that we have, the more that we can understand and, you know, learn about each other. But he lost multiple jobs, including Wildin' Out, which he built. And he doesn't have the rights to.
In like a 20-year career. Like that was a part for a long time. So it's just kind of like, you guys really were like a family together. Y'all made so much money together. And it's like, throw that away over this. Just, I mean, it shows that it really did hurt someone. Like somebody was really hurt by it or affected by it. But it also shows that, you know, like you have to be conscious of what you're doing and what you're saying.
Right.
Garnett, you do understand the corona is out here. What is wrong with you?
He don't even care though. I respect it.
What is wrong with you?
Faces and I was trying not to like, oh.
I'm with them a lot. Am I all right?
Who cares?
Well,
you wasn't
I'm
with them
negative.
yesterday.
I was. So no, I was.
And the day before. Like, Corona is a real thing. What are you doing?
All right, I'm breathing.
Oh, this guy. I can't be around you. That's why I didn't invite you to the cookout, bruh.
Listen, I washed
She didn't
up.
invite me either, and I'm corona free.
No, I thought you had the corona.
I'm negative.
You was getting tested. I ain't invite nobody. What are you doing now?
No, I had to close the door. So.
Close the door. Nobody else.
Keep going to kiss a baby, shake your hands.
Yo, you the worst, yo.
All right, man.
That was so blatant. Like, no, give an elbow dab, Garnett. Like,
we already
below the kiss. Ah.
Garnett, do you understand how the corona works?
Yeah, I know.
You could catch it tomorrow and not have it yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try it today and tomorrow. I'll be fine.
You know what? We gotta go. Anything y'all want to add about any of our conversations?
Yeah, just look out for the Smiths, the reality show. Love it.
Garnett the publicist.
I love it. I'm here for that.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and listening. It's the Mina's House Podcast, episode 136. I'm Mina SayWhat. I'm corona free and I don't kiss people.
I'm Shana B and I'm corona free. Hey.
I'm Garnett and I'm probably corona free, but I
no,
don't know.
you not. Not after that.
I'm sure I am.
Not after that, bro. You got that shit.
I'm Dexter and I'm corona free.
All right.
Put it down. That's right. Check my temperature when you see me. I'm telling you.
I'm about to buy that, actually. Yo, did you see? I know we about to close, but I can't. There's a machine now that you stand in front of the machine and it body scans you.
Yeah, they have them at Amazon. Yeah.
That's crazy.
All the Whole Foods and everything. They have them. They're thermal body readers.
Yeah, and they tell you if you have corona. Well, not corona, but
if
you have a fever.
They don't use the temperatures no more. They only use that at Amazon. Jeff Bezos ain't playing them games.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I need one of those for my house. So when Garnett comes,
listen,
bro.
No, she wants the thermal body scan for you.
And I need a hazmat suit. You come into my house with you coming with the Joel Embiid hazmat suit, bro. That's what I'm gonna have for you.
Just real quick before we go, how do you guys feel about that? The NBA coming back?
Child, they need to stop.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Well, let me just real quick. I'm just I have a lot of friends and everything that are down there, and to see the posting the menus of the food and complaining about the food, it's taking me to another world with these guys. like you're getting Joe's Crab Shack and Morton's and whatever you like, however you like, and y'all complaining. Like, come on.
What do you mean? First of all, I think we saw different food because I saw watermelon and chips. And
because you have your choice, like they give you choices of so it's almost like
so that person got the cheap one.
You're Uber eating for free, but it also does depend on your team. Your team can say like the dietitian for the Sixers can kind of select these are the places and the meals that we want for our guys, but you still have pretty much like a different choice. Other than Rashawn Holmes, who apparently just wanted pizza. And they didn't have pizza on the menu, and now he's quarantined for 12 days.
I was gonna say that they're not. There's no way. I mean, look at Garnett can't even follow the rules. You think they're gonna follow the rules? Like you got Rashawn Holmes leaving to go get Uber Eats. You got the one dude, right? You got the one dude who invited the model into the bubble.
Yeah. Like
the whole point is to be in a bubble by yourself.
But did we not know that the model part was not going to happen? Come on, it's only been 1 week. It's going to be a lot of that happening.
But the whole point is you don't have groupies coming in. Groupies are.
And they know that that's going to be the 5. They know it is. You talking about a whole league of guys.
They just need to leave this alone. Just leave it alone.
LeBron got to go get his chick, man. LeBron not leaving Orlando.
It better not be LeBron, but one of them single guys.
That's no. I'm talking
No,
about
his chip. He wants to win the
Oh, his chip. I thought you said his chick.
No, you know he all the way married and he not cheating.
I was like,
if LeBron cheats, everybody will know. Everybody.
He's probably dropping the chicks off so the other team can get eliminated. You got COVID, you out for
He busted him in. Like, yeah, no, I heard that, the Clippers thing, come through.
Kawhi, I'm just trying to look out for you, brother. That's it.
That's a good strategy. That is a good strategy, though.
I like Joel, though. This made me like Joel more. He showed up in a hazmat suit. I respect that man.
That ain't no game.
Health is wealth.
Did he show up in shape? That's the only thing I can.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. He's been working out. Yep, he showed up in amazing shape. They say he's ready to play.
Nothing to do but work out right now. They ain't got nothing to do but work out and fish. That's all, and play cornhole. That's all they can do right now.
You said cornhole?
Yeah, they have cornhole for them and stuff like that set up.
How do you know about the cornhole? I didn't read that.
I told you I got a lot of people down there. No, I get videos, pictures.
Were you the model that was invited down?
I definitely was not the model that was invited. Please, they call me Miss Shana. I'm Miss now.
Miss Shana.
You be all offended like I am not that old, okay?
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. It's the Mina SayWhat podcast. Peace.